Hello everyone, today we're going to read a story called Magic Dogs of the Volcanoes, which is also available in Spanish, titled Los Perros Magicos de los Volcanes. It's a folktale from El Salvador about cadejos, wolf-like magical animals that have cared for people who live at the foot of the volcanoes in Central America. It's written by Manlio, Argueta, and the pictures are illustrated by Elly Simmons. Magic Dogs of the Volcanoes. On the volcanoes of El Salvador live magic dogs called cadejos. They look a lot like wolves, but they're not wolves. They move with the grace of deer, but they're not deer. They eat the seeds of morning glories, those beautiful flowers that cover the volcanoes and look like little bells. Here are the morning glories. The people who live in the villages on the slopes of the volcanoes have always loved the Cadejos. They say the Cadejos are really the great-great-grandchildren of the volcanoes. They say the Cadejos have always protected them from danger and misfortune. When the people of the volcanoes travel from one village to another, a Cadejo always goes along. If a child is in danger of stepping on a snake or falling in a hole, the Cadejo will turn itself into a gust of wind and lift the child out of harm's way. If an old man becomes very tired working under the hot sun, a Cadejo will carry him to the shade of a nearby tree. The people of the volcanoes say they could not have survived to this day without the Cadejos. But sadly, not everybody has always loved the Cadejos. No, Dantonio and his 13 brothers who owned the land on the volcanoes did not like the Cadejos at all. The Cadejos bewitch the people and make them lazy, Dantonio said one day to his 13 brothers. And Dantonio's brothers answered, Yes, it is true. The people don't work hard for us anymore. They want to eat when they are hungry and drink water when they are thirsty, God forbid, and rest in the shade when the sun is hot. And it's all because of the Cadejos. So Dantonio and his 13 brothers called in the lead soldiers to go up the volcanoes and hunt the Cadejos. The lead soldiers set out with their tents and their canteens and their shining guns. We will be the handsomest and most respected lead soldiers in the world, they said. We will wear uniforms covered with silver medals and go to birthday parties and give orders everyone will obey. Here's the Cadejo, the volcanoes. The lead soldiers marched toward the volcano Kapa, who is a beautiful woman dressed in a robe of water and a hat of clouds. They marched toward the handsome volcano Chaparris with his hat of hot white smoke. Let's hunt the Cadejos while they sleep, said the lead soldiers. This way we can take them by surprise with no danger to us. They didn't know that the Cadejos can put on garments of air and light that make them invisible. The lead soldiers searched and searched, but they couldn't find a single Cadejo. And look, they seem to be right next to them. The lead soldiers were furious. They knew the Cadejos lived on the morning glory seeds, so they began to trample the morning glories and crush the seeds. Soon the Cadejos will have nothing to eat, they said. Never had the Cadejos been in such danger. So they went for help to their great-great-grandparents, the volcanoes Kapa and Chaparris. All night long the Cadejos spoke with the volcanoes. Finally, Kapa said, The soldiers are made of lead, you say. Are their hearts and brains also made of lead? Yes, answered the Cadejos. Even their feet are made of lead. Then I have a plan, said Kapa. What do you think their plan is going to be? What are the volcanoes going to do to help the Cadejos? Tecapa spoke to Chaparris. You have a steam hat, and I have a dress made of water, she said. You'll simply fan yourself with your hat until the ground gets hot, and then I will shake my dress. Tecapa gave her dress a shake. What good will that do? Asked the Cadejos. Just wait and see, answered Tecapa. The next day, as the lead soldiers climbed the volcanoes, Chaparris took off his hat and began to fan himself until it got so hot even he couldn't stand it. At first, the soldiers only felt a tingling in their feet, but soon their feet began to melt. Then Tecapa shook her dress and got the soldiers wet. Their bodies began to sizzle like water on a hot iron. The lead soldiers felt very bad when they saw that their feet were melting. They sat down on the rocks to cry, but the rocks were so hot that their bottoms began to melt. This is how the lead soldiers realized they couldn't defeat the Cadejos, nor trample the morning glories, nor go up the volcanoes with evil plans. They saw that being made of lead was a weakness and decided to devote themselves to professions more worthy than soldiering. From that day on, there has been peace on the volcanoes of El Salvador. Dantonio and his brothers ran away to other lands, while the Cadejos and the people of the villages held a big party, which was later remembered as a national holiday. The end. Whenever Salvadoran people gather to tell stories, someone will have a story about the magic dogs called Cadejos. There are many stories about how the Cadejos mysteriously appear at night to protect people from danger. Magic Dogs of the Volcanoes is Manlio Argueta's original story about these famous folkloric animals. Do you know anyone from El Salvador? Ask them if they have a story about the Cadejos. Thank you.